Hello guys, Bashar here. We are continuing our series of Sintranos videos. We have discussed the Sintranos rotations, aka filter sets. Now we are going to discuss which epics are usable and useful in Sintranos. So guys, I'm not of course going to go into Geo or Seer, right? Some epics are end game. They are very good on their own. So I'm not going to say build Geo for Sintranos. Build Geo, right? There is no for Sintranos at the end. It's an extremely good champion all around. So in here we are going to talk about a little bit the champions that are above average, maybe average, but they have use in Sintranos. So let's go over it. Toragi is a good epic, right? If you haven't built, he helps quite a bit in Sintranos. He can provoke, he can AoE decrease attack, he can also put up a life protection. He's good. Melga is pretty good. Gambo can be a nice damager for most rooms, especially guys in the first three districts. He's a 3-A2 combination that allows you to build him with 70% crit, can one shot, and as you can see I don't have extremely good gear. Well, 6k attack, 250 crit damage. You judge, you be the judge of that, but he's pretty good. Magnar is good. Seeker, Demeter, most of you would have them. Demeter is actually not really very good in Sintranos because in the clan boss it's the tuner, so she always plays last and puts up the block damage, so we counter the clan boss entire turn, right? You can't really do that in Sintranos trash rooms. So you put it up and guys take turns and you are not really preventing any damage. She also sucks as a damager, so she is not really very good. Seeker is pretty good though. Shamal is very good, and you should be building Shamal. Warcaster, Sylar, I built these for the 6-star souls. They are not needed. Husk is very good. I mean, Husk is a very good epic, but he also is very good in Sintranos. Right? AoE stun is very nice. Provoke is pretty good. The A3 sucks, but yeah. Dark Kale is nice. Duke is very good. If you haven't built Duke, definitely. And if you haven't got your Lydia, he's going to help very much in the faction war as well. Fane is very good. Deacon is, I'm sure everyone has built theirs. Akamptum's good. So guys, this is one of the hidden gems. Achak is good. So Achak is not used in a lot of Sintranos rooms, but there are a few rooms that he goes in and he makes your life much easier, right? So if you are going for the completion, he is a build one, right? I mean, he's a must build. Mausoleum Mage, same thing. A very nice werewolf, what's the name? Bolster set, right? Good. Alika is very specialized. She goes only in a few rooms. And by the way, Alika is the champion that needs the most books in the game. She needs a whopping 20 books. She's quite a librarian. And guys, most people go, skip her. But thing is, I did examine her and she is extremely hard hitting. And I'm not saying very hard hitting. She is extremely hard hitting. I mean, almost Georgid level. Of course, she doesn't have the 50% defense ignore passive, but she has a 50% defense ignore ability. And she hits really hard. So she will make your life very much easier in the rooms that she goes in, but she doesn't go in many rooms, right? She is a bit like Achak, build her only if you wanna go for completion, right? Zargala is very good. She goes in a lot of rooms and she's always very good. AoE decrease defense is beautiful, guys, as you can imagine, right? Because in some rooms there are targets that need to die ASAP, and what brings more damage than AoE decrease defense, right? Even the target decrease defense can be very good for several rooms. Endalia was a bit of a mistake of mine. No need. Royal Guard, yeah, very good. Farken. I mean, I don't need to talk about these, right? These are end game epics, right? They should be built no matter what. Anax is very good. He goes in several rooms that you don't have too much access to. You don't have a big roster of damaging champions, so he's very good. And he's also an extremely good single target damager. Naya is very good. Naldor is really good. AoE decrease speed. Was it AoE or single? AoE decrease speed, single target decrease attack and accuracy, right? And also freezes, pretty nice, goes very well with Relentless. And also if you have another freezer in the team, he has a chance to join in. And the good thing is, guys, let's say you freeze that guy and Naldo joins in, and Naldo's attacks are random, so on top of that guy taking some damage, this guy could also be frozen, right? You know, the two other targets. Dudan is very good, goes in a lot of rooms, very useful. With his counter attack buff and his cleansing ability, you can actually rid your team of a lot of debuffs. He also puts up the taunt. Sepulture, I have built her but haven't been able to use. Miscreate is a very good epic. Must build, I would say. For Sintranos, he goes in several rooms, not too many, but he's a good epic all around. Tyrell is very good. He goes in some, so he is useful, and he also goes in some very special rooms that you don't have too much access to. And again, AoE decreased defense is a very good ability for Sintranos. Hoskarul, not an extremely good epic, but there are some specialized rooms that you don't have access to too many champions. He goes in, useful. Vogot is an endgame champion. Stag is an endgame champion. Ursula is a really good champion. Madame, no use, but no, most of us would have a Madame. Gala can go in several rooms. I mean, that will depend on your Void legendaries, right? If you have some good Void legendaries, maybe. I have built her and I like her, right? The extra turn, etc. is pretty good. Deity is extremely good, right? He goes in several very, very hard rooms and he makes a joke out of them. I would suggest building 2, right? That's the level. And he synergizes extremely well with 9 pieces of Merciless or Relentless, right? Because all of his abilities are extra turn. He can take like 6, 7 turns in a row. Aux goes in a few rooms but is good. I would suggest doing it. Siege Hulk is again specialized. He goes in a few rooms, but you know, there are some rooms that you need a ton of damage and there are not really many damages there. Siege Hulk helps. Yorg is again specialized, goes in a few rooms that he can help with. I would just suggest, if you have HP burn access, I would just suggest letting go of accuracy and going for full tanky with bolster. Ugo is a very, very, very good champion, right? Goes in a lot of rooms too. I have 3 and I have loved them, right? Because you can, as you know, his A3 revives your entire team. So what you can do is you can die on purpose and revive everyone with Ugo. Very useful. Archmage is extremely useful. Jarek I have built but not really used properly. Allure 1 is generally enough. Ornn is good. Kinagashi, I mean, being Spirit of its support, she goes in some rooms where you don't have access to too much. Yeah, I suppose level 50 could be enough. Giscard goes in a few rooms. I mean, so he's not very useful, but in the rooms he goes in, he is useful. That's what I mean. Sandlash, not really used too much. Phoenix is good. Build. Rusk is the best healer in the game, in case you didn't know. I mean, he can be built to be the best healer in the game. You give him as many retaliation pieces as you can, 4, 6, whatever it is, right? And you give him an extreme amount of HP. So when they hit them, when they hit you, he has a 45% chance of retaliating. And when he crits, he heals the entire team by 10% of his HP. If you give him 100k HP, he heals everyone by 10k every time he counterattacks. And you know, you get him all the revenge accessories, all the counterattack masteries, and full retaliation. So he would be retaliating like 60-70% of the time, and you would actually be getting healed by enemy AoE, right? Very useful in the few rooms that he goes in. Rogrim is good. Whisper is very good. Umbral is extremely good. Definitely build. Because I mean, you can block the Cardiel, for example, with Provoke. Then you can block the Valkyries with block buffs. She is really very, very good. Illusinia was not necessary. Rian didn't use. So I call this the girl squad. Rector, Doom Priest, and Sinesha. very good. I would suggest, and they all go together, right? I think Sineche support as well. So they generally go together in all rooms, and what they are capable of is, if you kill one guy, relieve a little bit stress, at the end of the way you will have your entire team up with full HP, right? Because all of them heal. Very nice. If you can give some accuracy to Rector Drath, she will place decreased attack. That's useful. I would definitely suggest Relentless on Doom Priest, so you can get the extra turns and the extra heals. Sinaja works very well in the stun set and the stun mastery. This one. Yeah, I think my camera is blocking some of them. Maybe take myself here. Sorry about that. Spider, again specialized, goes in a few rooms but helps. Kryodan is very, very good. So he was not up to par in Fire Knight, right? A lot of us tried and failed, but thing is, he is very good for Sintranos, especially in Relentless. He freezes everyone, he pushes the turn meter, he plays increased speed, A1 freezes, etc. Very nice. Venom Mage is an extremely good epic, should be built. Rula is a really good epic that should be built. Annabelle is not really very good for Sintranos, but because she's specialized, she is a killer of Bomal. Yeah, I auto build if you wish, you don't have to. Occult, if your roster is a bit limited, he can be of use. There are some rooms that you don't have a very big roster for. Crimson Elm, not needed. It was not very necessary. Onir is good, of course, but when you have voids, the legendaries will generally take care of it. Jamarsa, yeah, I suppose. Fanshi is useful in a room that you can bring with Mikage. Him being Shadowkin and 3-hit A1, he helps very much there. Nazana is again specialized, goes only in a few rooms, but she is instrumental there. Cornelia not needed. Gorgorab can be of use, especially in one Sand Devil room. We had that in the last rotation. If you don't have access to Sife, Gorgorab is the guy to go to. Fodbor's good, AoE decreased defense. Ophoris not very required, Tagar not very required. Supreme Galek, Ultimate Galek, apologies, is useful for one loom at least. He's pretty good, he's a good damager. Vergis, yeah, Vergis, Crimson Helm and Giscard go in the same room, and building one of them and keeping the other two at 50 could be enough, I suppose. If you have a Vergis at 60, the others don't need to be 60. Caden goes in a single room, not very required. Steel Skull is good, support. Gwyneth goes in a very special room, but she makes your life very much easy there. I would suggest doing her. Dark Alhain can be good in some rooms, the rooms with Torment, etc. If you are getting frozen, you can build your Dark Alhain with extreme damaging potential, and she will nuke their faces. Skuramis can be of use. Akoth can be of use. Void Painted can be used in some rooms, in some Fire Knight rooms, because the reflect damage actually takes hits off the shield. Oboro is a very fine solo champion, can be used to trivialize some rooms. Philesia is good for some rooms, AoE decreased defense and debuff duration extension. Chancellor Jasmine is interesting, guys. He, I think, is the best speed aura in the game for epics. 20% speed aura that works everywhere, and she goes on so she is not very good, but the aura is pretty good. So honorable mention. Oathbound goes in a single room, but it is a painful room, so he can be of use. And that is it for the stuff I have, I think. Wyron on the Silken maybe for some rooms. And there are a few epics that I don't have that can be of use. Those are, let me try to go over it quickly. Nope, not here. Lethalene can be used in a few rooms, not really very required. No one here. Sanguinia can be used in a few rooms. There are some hard rooms. Yeah. And he is very useful in some rooms because he brings decreased defense. So HP champions don't really not too many of them have decreased defense abilities. So Barot is very special and useful. And as you can see, I have never gotten him, right? Not even fed him. So Barot is good, definitely should be built. He goes in like 3 or 4 hard rooms. Important. Shatterbones is good. Can be built. Okay. No one here. Skinwalkers. No need anyone. Orcs. No. Demons. Padma is useful in some rooms to decrease accuracy. No one. I don't have a Skull Crown. Skull Crown is obviously very useful in the rooms that she goes in. Can be used with stun. Can be used as a nuker with Savage. I don't think there is anyone else. Yeah, here there is the Morag. So Morag was a past fusion epic. I have never gotten a Morag after that. She goes in that hardest room I talked about. This rotations S19. That is the hardest room in all of Sintranos. And she goes in there. She's a very good damager for that. I just haven't had her. I will hope my luck holds. So she is very well worth building. I mean, she doesn't go in too many rooms, but she does go in the hardest room, and she is very useful there. So, I mean, you should be judge of that. I mean, if you want to finish it all, yeah. Jurojin is worth building. He goes in several rooms, decent damage. Gori is. Hotatsu also is not bad. Could build Hotatsu. Pan is not fully, but Pan is a replacement for deity. I mean, if you don't have 2 deities, if you don't have 1 deity, you can definitely build Pan. Pan's pretty good as well, but it doesn't measure up to deity. Deity is better. I would just suggest building 2 deities, but if you don't have deity, you can build Pan, or you could, if you have 1 deity, you could build deity and Pan. Deity can go in the hardest room S19 in one of the rotations, so we are going to use him soon. And as I said, in every room that he goes, he can allow you to high roll and pass the room, because you know who can stand against someone that takes 7 turns, right? And he also brings his own increased attack, and he also brings his own decreased defense. So he's doing much more than he's supposed to. So he can nuke faces quite nicely. And this rare is also worth building, Flannan, right? Most rares are generally, you know, what you'd expect. I would also suggest building a Gnarlhorn. I'm a big fan, if you know from the stream. Yeah, very nice champion. Let me go over the rares very quickly, and we can conclude our video. There is no Bannerlord, if I recall. Nope, no need any one of these. I mean, I'm just talking about the rares that have use in Sintranos. Apothecary always has his use. I'm sure you haven't built. Alhain also has her uses. in stun set. Athel also is used in a few rooms. She's not a must, but Alhain stun set is very good. So why Athel specifically? Because Athel is the only one that has two real AoEs, right? Because Galek and Kayle have some sort of pseudo AoE on top of their regular AoE. Soulbound Warrior is insane. She trivializes the rooms that she goes in. I would suggest building 2. She is that good. She can be built with 75% crit, and if you use her aura, she has a 12% aura, so she goes down to 63% crit. And she can always be paired with Farakin. Farakin's ally attack gives her 30% attack, which means you can build her with 33% attack. Blah blah blah. It's insane. War Maiden is very good. AoE decreased defense is always good. Sentinel goes in some very special rooms, but will make your life easier. The heal reduction debuff is useful. It's only 75%. If you do the master, it's 80%. There is that, but you can keep trying until it works. Ogrin rares. Well, I did build Bellover as a campaign farmer because I didn't have the dog fella, and I have he's full AoE, so he can be made to use the stun set. I liked him in several rooms. Not really a must, but he is pretty useful. Nope, no lizards, skinwalkers, Nullhorn. I have a few more that's built, but not really necessary. Orcs. If you have a Galek build, he can be of use in some rooms, but nothing really needed. Demons. I don't think so. The Abyssal can be of use in a few rooms. The heal and the AoE. He can wear the stun set. This one, Diabolist, is okay maybe. I wouldn't suggest building her. If you have her built, you can use. Doom Screech, I had it built, used in a few rooms. Not really very required. Yeah, I suppose Cold Out goes without saying. Extremely good. Painkeeper, same. Paragon, same. Kayle, most of us would have built. And one surprising guy, guys, Judge is a really good nuker, right? And he goes in a few rooms that he is needed in. He does his decreased attack, and he can do decent damage. So I would just suggest Judge to your attention. Now, maybe if you have a Coffin Smasher built, he can be of use in a few rooms, but nothing really necessary. Dwarf Master Butcher is used in a few rooms. That would be about it. Shadowkin, no. Yeah, I have a Marauder I use in a few rooms, but I have built him for some Sintranos side room. Definitely not needed. And this fella is insane. That Flannan deals very good damage. He gets an extra turn. He doesn't feel like a rare, and he has been recently added. He definitely feels like an epic. He gets an extra turn. He has an ally attack. He has AoE decreased speed. He is very good. Worth building. Goes in quite in a few rooms as well. So that is it, guys. If you think there are any champions that I skipped that are useful, please comment, and we can have a chat about it. And I will see you on stream. Bye bye.